My name is Jen, and I am on a journey in order to break free from the destructive patterns of disordered eating and in order to embrace a nourishing lifestyle. My roadmap can be described using an acronym of the word Nourisher. So I'm doing daily video blog posts in order to encourage you, equip you, and keep you up to date on my progress. If this content is helpful or encouraging to you, please consider subscribing, hitting that like button, and sharing with others. It is my deep desire that these videos would help to ignite nourishing transformations in us all. Hey everybody, and thank you for joining me for my Nourisher Check In, which actually today is more like an S.O.S video because I am halfway through eating this bag of chocolates. So this is the Chalk Zero sugar-free baking chips, and these are so enjoyable for me. But today I find myself like totally snacky, binge-y on them. And so I want to reach out and just walk through this, bring you in, because I feel myself like shutting down into my dark little binge-y space. And I have not been there in over a month, and I do not want to go there today. So if you look at the ingredients of this, the only ingredients are dark chocolate, which is unsweetened chocolate, and cocoa butter, which I think are excellent ingredients. Soluble corn fiber, sunflower lecithin, which if I understand correct is actually really excellent for brain health. Monk fruit extract, which that and stevia are my two sweeteners of choice. And Madagascar bourbon vanilla beans, which are terrific. So, I didn't say anything about the corn fiber. So, as sad as it is, I mentioned the other day that I was eating something and my eczema was really bad, but I've been off dairy, and my main dairy triggers are typically dairy and soy. But I said that, my eczema's been really horrible, and I think I know what it is. Well, I think it's these chips, because I also know that corn and coffee cause really bad eczema flare-ups for me. So why would I go on eating something that could potentially be hurting me? So this is a really good question. So I don't know is one of the answers. The other answer is that there's a couple of different things. And I think that the one main thing is that I go on saying these things in my mind about, one of the lies that I tend to believe in regards to food is I've bought it. I bought it, so I just need to finish it. I'm just going to finish this bag. But then I always go and I buy more. So that's one thing, is I have this idea that my body should be a human garbage disposal, and because I bought it, I should eat it until it's gone, and then I won't get any more, and then I, as part of this crazy eating disorder, especially my binge eating disorder cycle, then I just keep buying more. So that's one lie, is that I'll just finish it. I don't want to waste it. Number two is I always think, when you talk to people, in my opinion, and please, I hope this doesn't sound offensive, but if you are currently struggling with disordered eating or body obsession or exercise obsession or whatever other mental health issue you may be currently journeying through, what I find is that people, if when I open up about it to people about, I have a binge eating disorder and I need to be careful with certain foods or patterns, or people always say, well, just have one. They always, well, why don't you just have one and then stop? And I get to thinking, when I'm in this mode of, hey, there's nothing wrong with them. They're healthy ingredients. I'm not eating. I've been had no sugar or anything for over a month. Everybody else who is healthy can just have one. So I can just have one. Or I can just have a little, or I can, and you know what? I can't. I can't. And then another one of the things that tends to come up that people often say is, well, if you're craving it, your body must need it. And I can often think that, oh, but I'm craving it, so maybe there's something in it that my body needs. And to this one, I want to publicly state, so that you can hold me accountable, to the fact that there is research that maybe suggests, I don't know, I haven't looked at the research that suggests that if you crave something, it's something that your body actually needs. But there is research to the opposite as well. And to this, I read this fabulous book. I think I've mentioned it before. It was called Cure Your Child with Food by Kelly Dorfman. That's where I realized that like my daughter's hearing issues were connected to dairy, that our eczema issues in our family was connected to dairy and soy and some of these other nutritional triggers. I found out that my horrible tummy aches were due to gluten, all sorts of things that I just didn't realize could be linked back to food. We learn now, of course, there is always with those of us who tend to have food obsessions and some of us who obsess towards orthodoxy with food. Some of this learning can really make our eating very narrow and make us have a ton of fear around food. So I want to be careful not to lead us down that road. That's not where I'm trying to go here, but I am trying to make as many nourishing, healthy choices as possible. And Kelly Dorfman, I'll put an article. It was like an interview with her that I found super helpful. I'll try to put it in the comments below. But what she was saying is that you've really got to listen to your body, which is so much of what we've been talking about in terms of listening to how our body's holding our emotions and what our body is telling us about our emotions. But we've got to listen to how our body is responding. And when our body is in physical pain or has other symptoms, we need to listen to those symptoms as well. So she says that typically you'll know that a food is bothering you by signs of irritation. And it could be something like a rash, pain, mood swings. So she gives this short list of symptoms that could point to a food intolerance as stomach pain, reflux, ear infections, which I had no idea before reading things authored by this lady, frequent illnesses, red cheeks, eczema, joint pain, frequent diarrhea or constipation, asthma, temper tantrums, fuzzy thinking, fatigue, headaches, failure to thrive, excessive gas, and sleep disturbances. So those were some of the things to kind of be aware of. But the idea, going back to this, what do I tend to lie? I tend to lie to myself and say, well, I'm really craving it, so there must be something that I need. So one of the big things that I often crave, and then I just like when I'm binging, I eat a ton of, is chocolate. And many people have always encouraged me, well, you must just be low on on magnesium. I think there's magnesium in chocolate. Well, maybe that's true, and I've actually gone on magnesium supplements just in case in the past. I'm not on any right now, but this is what Kelly Dorfman has to say about this, because there actually is a potential that the food that you crave is actually your biggest irritant. It's actually irritating your system, and that your body, it actually turns almost into kind of like a morphine-like substance in your body that your body is actually addicted to. And then now you're craving that food because of the painkiller that your body is creating in order to dull the pain that irritant is causing. Does that make sense? Let me read this to you. So she says, the main foods that cause cravings as one of the symptoms of intolerance are wheat, dairy, and sugar. Yes, yes, yes. I've never seen someone who was addicted to pears or could not stop eating kiwis, although that could happen. The theory about why people crave wheat and dairy is called the opioid theory. This theory says that some people cannot break down the gluten or casein proteins, which are the main proteins in gluten and milk, or in wheat and milk, properly, and they form a molecule that is accepted in the same receptor sites that take morphine or natural painkillers, which are endorphins. So she also goes on to say that if you want to know why sugar is so addictive, she recommends a documentary called Fed Up, which I'll put in the link below too. But so do you see what's happening here? So I could be craving these. Yes, maybe it's because my body really needs magnesium, but there's more of a chance that I'm craving these because the corn is an irritant. My body is fighting against that irritant by creating a natural painkiller, which is an endorphin, which is addictive, which my body is now seeking out. To see that pattern? So I want to not believe the lie that I'm craving them because they have something that's good for me, because it's equally, I mean, my body is telling me that there's a potential that there's something actually bad for me in them. What else? Those are probably the big ones that I end up telling myself, like, oh, you should be strong enough to just have a few, or don't waste the bag, it was expensive, or et cetera, et cetera. So that's where I'm at right now with this. In terms of feeling, the other big problem or the mistake that I made today was I let myself get too hungry. And this is really big for me. If I don't eat every 2.5 to 3 hours, I just get so ravenous that it's very difficult for me to just have a good portion and then move on. And this morning I got up. I didn't eat well in the morning, and then I had my walk, and then I went to work, and then I was doing some desk work, which is always kind of a time when I'm kind of snacky and kind of whatever anyway. And then I just got super hungry and realized, oh my goodness, I haven't eaten. So, yeah, so I let myself get too hungry. And I'm feeling, if I listen to my body right now, I'm feeling kind of bloated because of those chocolate chips. But yeah, it's been a great day. Some great connections, some really encouraging connections with some people that I consider mentors. So that's been really good and encouraging. I feel, just taking a deep breath for a second. Actually, I can feel right now as I listen to my body, my shoulders are really tight and tense. My neck is tight. Feel a little bit of anxiety in my chest. So even though I think I'm doing really, really great, I probably need to stop and actually take a few deep breaths and do a better check-in with my body. But it has seemed like a great day up until now. I had a great time in prayer this morning that was so special, and had a wonderful walk. So sorry, I'm jumping all over between the acronym, but it's been a good day. But I need to really be careful with this current craving cycle, and that's a whole. I feel like this has been like one big rabbit trail, but such is life. So I hope that you're well. I wonder if any of those kind of lies or patterns resonate with you. If you kind of tell yourself similar things when you're faced with a challenge of being tempted to fall back into some disordered behavior in regards to your relationship with food. And if that's where you're sitting right now, then let's link arms and tackle this together. Because we are so much better together than we are alone. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm already looking forward to checking with you tomorrow to tell you how the rest of this story ends. We have the reward of knowing that there is grace, and that nothing that I do, whether I eat this whole bag of chocolate chips or now, it doesn't change my worth as a person. But it sure does not feel good to not live in a nourishing way, or to live based on these values. So I really want to hold them, because I know that helps me to have the reward of feeling good physically, of having better enjoyment, and experiencing more joy, and helps me to be more present emotionally, physically, spiritually with my loved ones. So I'm gonna fight for that, and I look forward very, very much to seeing you tomorrow.